Welcome back to another Barjacks video. My name is Dylan, and today we're going to be dropping this underwater camera 800 feet deep for some of Florida's most prized deep sea fish, golden tilefish and blackbelly rosefish. So without further ado, let's get right into this video. So we have just made it out to our spot. Today we're going to be fishing a giant mud flat out in 800 feet of water. But the most important thing that we're doing today is we're adding on this underwater camera to see what really lives that deep. So all we're gonna do with this underwater camera is add in our SD card, and I'm gonna show you guys what this looks like. So just like that, the card's in, it's all rigged up, ready to go. We're gonna tighten this, and then we're gonna go add it onto our electric reel. So let's go do this. So we are now at our spot. We're about 900 feet deep. We got our deep drop rig ready to go. We're gonna turn on this underwater camera. Once this thing clicks on, it's time to make the first drop down to the bottom. So I'm gonna just click it, make sure it starts recording. Okay, we're recording. So now we're ready to go. Tanacom is rigged up. All we're gonna do, we're coming up on our tilefish spot. We are ready to go now. This thing should be good to go. All I'm gonna do is drop it in the water. So I'm gonna take our weight now, slowly start putting the rig in the water, nice and easily. And then we're gonna take that 5-pound weight, come up here, and just gently let it go. And here we go. Drop number one is recording. We're coming up on the golden tilefish spot. And let's see what we can find down there. So yesterday we came out here, and out here we hooked a giant goblin shark. And when you're fishing 1,000 feet deep, you just never know what you're gonna bring up or see with underwater camera. So we're about 100 meters into this drop. And let's see, we're a couple miles off the beach here. I would say like 6 or 7, not too far. It looks like there is some mud down there, so I'm hoping that will get us a tilefish. So we're now about 60 meters right off the bottom, and I'm feeling it on this first drop. Our spot is looking pretty promising here. We've caught a few in this spot, so we're hoping now that the season just opened that they're gonna be here. So we should hit bottom any second now. We're about 230 meters in. Any second, we should stop here. And that's why we added those lights on. You guys are gonna notice with that underwater camera, it is pitch black down there, and without those two blue lights, you aren't gonna see anything or probably catch anything. So it's really important to add those deep drop lights. Oh, we just hit bottom. So now we are officially on bottom, and let's see what we get.
So this was by far the craziest thing I have ever seen. We were about 870 feet deep at this point, and an absolute giant crab appeared. I have never seen a crab like this, and honestly, I didn't know there were crabs in 900 feet of water. But he crawled over to our baits and slowly started attacking our squid. And if you guys know what kind of crab this is, let me know in the comments below, because later in this video, we actually ran into another giant. And I was in shock that there were this many crabs in this spot. Now this crab was trying to cut off our bottom bait. And that's why it's just so important to be using a strong heavy mono when you're fishing this deep. Because if you were using light pound test in this depth, you would probably be losing a lot of deep drop rigs. And let me tell you, they are not cheap. Sadly, on this first drop, it was pretty dead. The only kind of action we had was this crab. But at our next spot, there were a bunch of fish. And luckily, we were able to hook into a few. So stay tuned. So after about 10 minutes of sitting on the bottom, this crab decided to walk away from our baits. And that's when we knew it was time to reel in our deep drop rig and reset on our spot.
So we're bringing up the rig. The first drop had absolutely nothing on it. I didn't get any bites. Maybe I missed it. We'll see on the underwater camera. But I feel like there was nothing down there. So we're gonna move on to our other spot where we caught that goblin shark yesterday, and where we were just getting a ton of action just because this Go Fish camera does not have a lot of life. So I don't want to burn it all in a bad spot. So we're gonna reel it in and move on to our other spot. So we made it to our new spot. It was about 3 miles from that other spot. This one's a lot deeper. It's about 800 feet deep, and it looks like we're marking a good muddy bottom. So we're gonna turn on the underwater camera. Once I see that it clicks on here, we're gonna start recording. And this is where we caught that shark. So let's see if we could pull a giant up with the underwater camera on. Okay, all our baits are ready to go. Now it's time to make our way down 800 feet deep. So we are marking a little down there. And obviously marks in 800 feet look this small, but in reality they could be a 30-pound fish. So that's a good sign. Now we just need them to bite our line.
So we have just hit bottom, and let me know in the comments below where you guys would want to see us drop the underwater camera next. But after a few seconds of drifting, it was completely dead down here. But then another crab came into view. I've done these type of camera drops multiple times and have never seen crabs this deep. And that's honestly why my baits kept getting robbed today. These crabs just wouldn't leave our deep drop rig alone. Then after that crab left, it went quiet again. And clearly this spot wasn't looking like a great tilefish area. Last year we caught a few here, but this year there were absolutely none of them. But then out of the shadows, a giant fish ran into our camera. And honestly, I have no clue what this was. I think it was a tilefish, but I'm not 100% sure. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think that fish was. But then something slammed our bait. So we patiently waited a tad bit longer after that bite. And then if you look closely on the bottom left, you could see another fish just chewing on our squid. And we are 860 feet deep at this point. So I find it pretty cool that we're able to see all this deep in the ocean. So then you could see that crab there again, and then that blackbelly rosefish just slammed our bait. And as we were reeling it up, we picked up a few more fish here.
I'm gonna start bringing up the line now. We were about 5 to 6 minutes into this drift. So bring it up, see what we got. We're 400 meters out, so we got ways to go. And like I told you guys earlier, that's why it's so important to have an electric reel, because manually you got to keep letting out line, and by the time you know it, you're 500-600 meters out and you got ways to then reel in. So electric makes a huge difference when you're doing this kind of fishing. So we're gonna bring this up, reset one last time on our spot, and we're gonna do one last drop just because the waves are picking up. It's windy out here and it looks like it wants to rain. So we'll do one more drop after this and hopefully we can get a buzzer beater fish. So we definitely got a few fish on. We could see them fighting here on this drop number 3. They weren't fighting the whole time. They're probably gonna be rosefish, but you just never know. So we're about 20 meters right under the boat, and let's see if we are right. Oh yeah, I see some color down there. Let's see how many rosies we got. I see a few. Yeah, the Rosie Jackpot. 3? Oh, that's 3 of a kind right there. 3 Rosies. That's a home run right there if I've ever seen one. 3 Rosies. Just like that. That is pretty legendary. We're gonna do one more drop after this, and let's see if we can get our golden tilefish. If not, we've gotten a ton of these rosefish, so I count that as a win. So let's take these fish off and then let's do drop number 4. The last drop of the day. Here we go. We've caught about 5 rosies today. Let's see if we can get the buzzer beater home run here. So we're going down here, 798 feet of water. And let's see if this spot will give us a home run or we're gonna end with a lot more rosies. Either way, we've probably seen a lot with that underwater camera. So that's all that matters. So we have just hit bottom and we probably already have a rosie on. That's how many there are out here. You guys can just see the minute you hit bottom, there's just Rosies everywhere. And the golden tilefish are usually never around our deep drop rig. That's just how it is. Well, let's see if drop number 4 will be the one that produces us some dinner. Oh, that's a little, yeah, that was a powerful hit. Looks like we got him. All right, we got something that hit pretty hard. I'm not gonna say it's a golden, but we're gonna bring it up and hopefully it is. But something did hit nicely and it's fighting pretty hard here. Unless we got another big blackbelly rosefish, maybe we got ourselves some dinner. So that was pretty fast. We were only down there for about 40 seconds and we already hooked into something. So the season for golden tilefish just opened on January 1st. Today's January 4th. And there's a good amount of boats doing this kind of fishing. The season's not open for long. But these fish, you guys can see, they are really hard to catch. You gotta put in a lot of time. And during January, you usually don't get a good weather window. Like today, it's pretty choppy out here. Not ideal for this kind of fishing, but that's how the fishing is this time of year. So you just gotta deal with what you got. We're now about 100 meters under the boat. He's still fighting on there, so we know he's on here. I just hope this isn't a big blackbelly rosefish. We got a few boats positioned in front of us. We're working just this giant mud pile. And right now it seems to be all Rosies on here. So 50 meters right under the boat. Whatever we have is definitely still on here. Hopefully it is a tilefish, but I have a feeling it's probably 3 or 4 Rosies. But we shall see. It's been fighting basically the whole way up here. And at this point now, it's kind of dead waiting. So let's see what we got here. 10 meters left. Let's see if we get any color in the water. I see something down there. Looks like we got more Rosies. That sounds about right. That's what I thought we would have. And let's see how many Rosies we got this time around. 1. All that for 1 legendary Rosie. Wow. Yeah, something must have fallen off. We'll see with the underwater camera because that's definitely not what pulled that hard. So whatever hit fell off the hook. We'll know what we got with the underwater camera. But that concludes it for today's video. We hope you guys enjoyed this fishing video and we'll see you in the next Barjack's Family fishing video.